Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So if you haven't subscribed to this channel as yet, please subscribe. In this video I just wanna say a few things that has been resting on me, and based on what I'm seeing happening in my country, the arrogance of the Jamaican people. It's quite a lot to take in, knowing exactly what is going on. The numbers, we have over 3,000 active known coronavirus cases. We have over 70 deaths so far. Some persons seems to believe that this is a plot, this is a theory that is being hosted by the current Prime Minister, Mr. Andrew Holness. If you hear any rumbling or anything like that, it's raining outside. I've been waiting for the perfect time to do this video, but it never seems to be a perfect time. So it's really sad to know that persons are saying that all this coronavirus is a hoax. It's not real. There's no coronavirus. It's a hoax by the Jamaican government and Bill Gates, just to show you the level of arrogance. And when we have persons who follow these conspiracy theories, and it's sad, right? It's really sad, because most of these persons who don't believe that the virus exists are the younger generation who has babies, young kids going home to. So they're on the road on a daily basis, just being reckless and careless. And then they go home to their families and they take the virus home to their families. And this is how persons are dying in Jamaica. They have their grandmothers going home to. They have their newborn babies going home to. And many persons have existing conditions, whether it may be asthma, whether it may be thyroid, whether it may be any form of diabetes. Some persons even have cancer. How can you be so selfish to think that persons are dying worldwide, but to satisfy your selfish agenda, you have to resort to the level of arrogance that the Prime Minister is doing something to control people and to kill off people and all of that. That's just hogwash, because no Prime Minister can exist without its people. It's not as though the coronavirus is something that controls the mind and makes you think a particular way, do things apart. It doesn't do that. It kills you. It kills you. And those who have survived have been lucky to survive this virus. So just know that it's not that the Jamaican government is not doing its best. And I just want the world to know. I can give you one example. In the town that I live in, I went to the hardware store just to pick up a bottle of glue. And the security guard at the door, female, and she was saying, "Young man, you have to wear a mask, right? You have to wear a mask." And saying, yo. Tell man nothing, you know. When Andrew Holness want to take money, you know, that man now wear a mask, you know. Oh, a man run this and yeah. And the lady, she was disrespected. She was threatened, right? And that's not the only instance where things like these happen. They happen even more frequently. On the buses, you know, you take a bus to go from point A to point B. Most persons, they may choose to wear a mask. Some persons consciously decide not to wear one. They follow these conspiracy theory. It's a one world order. It doesn't matter what it is. Your level of arrogance is what is going to ruin you and ruin the population, right? I remember traveling on a bus and this Christian lady was saying that she knows that the government is hiding something, and because she knows that the government is hiding something, it's only because she wanted to get about her business, and the driver refused her entry unless she puts on the mask. She's saying that only because she wanted to get about her business, that was her only reason for putting on the mask. But once she comes off the bus, she's going to take the mask off and go about her business, because she knows that it's all a trick, and she prayed to God and God revealed that to her. You understand? So God has revealed to her that the Prime Minister is tricking people, but God didn't reveal to her that even though the Prime Minister is tricking people, that she may potentially die and infect maybe up to 24 persons before she dies. So you see, the thing is this, the Bible tells you about these people, and it's really sad that a Christian who should be setting example, being Christian-like, Christian-minded. The Bible says to obey the laws of the land, and the Bible also says that a rebellious Christian is just as bad as someone who practices witchcraft and worship idols, right? And persons like these, persons who disobey protocols and say, oh, church have to keep because we have to worship God in spirit and in truth. God is everywhere. And if you're a Christian, and if you're a true Christian, this is something that you know. God is everywhere. He's not in a particular building. Technology has come such a long way. You can stay at home and you can still have your church meetings. You can keep your service, and still lift them up in praises. And the Bible tells you that in the last day, you will not war against the physical. You understand? It tells you that your war will be about the spiritual. But I don't know what some Christians are doing, but I think they're just so lost. They are just as arrogant as our younger generation, and this is why things are the way they are today, because many of these seniors, they didn't set anything in place for the younger generation to learn from, to inherit. They were just arrogant, they were rebellious, they didn't abide by any rules, they didn't abide by any principles. Many of them were thieves and robbers, and they have only changed their ways to stop doing this in the outside world, but has resorted to doing it in the church. Many of them were out there raping women and kids, and they have resorted to do it in such a way because they know that oftentimes pastors and Christians are sheltered by their church brothers and their church sisters, so they have brought their devilish ways in the church because they have a support group. So whatever they do, it will be supported, and especially if they can falsify the Holy Spirit strong enough to lead the people astray, that's even better for them. That's a bigger payout for them at the end of the day. So this is what is currently happening in Jamaica, and it's really sad, and there isn't much the government can do besides, unless the government is going to start holding persons or sending the Jamaica Defense Force out, the Jamaica Constabulary Force out to start holding people at gunpoint, shooting people and all of that. And that is just an evasive action. And if the government does that, it's going to be another backlash saying that, oh, Jamaica has the world's worst leaders ever in history, when in fact the government is just trying to keep you alive. It doesn't make sense that the government is fighting you to keep you alive while fighting this virus that we can't see with our eyes. It's really hard. So I just want to implore you all to just save yourself, encourage everyone. If you see someone not doing the right thing, just encourage them to do the right thing and share this video. I hope this really settles with someone. I hope that it really does allow someone to acknowledge what they have gone, where they have gone wrong, and try to do better going forward, because this is a fight against humanity. This is a fight against the human race. And another problem here too in Jamaica is the fact that we have many private sectors who are now using this COVID virus as an excuse to exploit their staff, right? There's an ongoing pandemic. So because there's an ongoing pandemic and things are so bad in such a way that you have to basically turn your staff into a slave when they were already slaving before now, they could hardly make ends meet. But what some private sectors have consciously chose to do is to cut their staff already meager salary into half, less than half in some cases. You're now talking about where persons used to earn persons used to earn, for example, $200 weekly to take care of their household, and that could hardly manage. They have bills to pay, they have rent to pay, they have food. Some persons may have illnesses where they may have to buy medication, because even though healthcare is free, if you live in an area that is overly populated, they're always out of medication, so you have to buy the medication at some point in time, right? So what the private sectors are doing, some of them, not all, some of them are using this virus as an excuse to take away from their already meager salary. So now persons are not just fighting against a pandemic, they're also fighting to survive. They're fighting to keep their homes, they're fighting to keep their family, they're fighting their already pre-existing medical conditions, in the sense that some persons, you're leaving your house every day for work, you have to wear a mask. For me personally, I've realized that because I have thyroid disease, I cannot wear those masks that are reusable. I have to wear a surgical grade mask, one that I can breathe better through, and that is just one use. So as I wear one, I have to dispose of it, because those I can breathe better in. Now, how did I identify this? I went to work. I felt really low. I was feeling weak. I felt as though I couldn't breathe. And then I had to go to the doctor. My blood level was all the way down to, I don't even remember, but my blood pressure was so low at the time. I was dizzy, I was nauseous, and the doctor said, okay, we're gonna put you on some oxygen. I could hardly breathe, and I had to go on oxygen. I had to take off the mask. The doctor had to put me in a room by myself, and each time someone was coming in, he said, you know what, I'm gonna give you one of my masks. And I realized that when I was wearing that mask, I could breathe. I didn't have that feeling as though I was going to have a panic attack or so. So now I realized that even though I may still have a job, I also have an additional expense, because I cannot wash a mask at the end of the day and wear that mask tomorrow. I have to buy those, I think they're called N95 masks. I have to buy the ones that are disposable, that gives the protection. So I wear today, I have to discard it at the end of the day, because in truth and in fact, you should not wash a disposable mask and reuse it. It's called disposable mask for a reason, because when you wash that disposable mask, it has a layer that protects you, right? And when you wash that fabric, it basically thin out the fabric, so you're not getting that protection. So even though you're wearing a mask, it doesn't make sense. Might as well you go without it, because it's not doing anything for you. So I realized that I am one of those persons. So some of us know we have that additional expense of buying a mask every day. And when you have to buy a mask every day with a reduced income, what do? Because you're working during a pandemic, everything is increasing. And I must say that as well. Food prices are going up in Jamaica. Electricity bill is increasing. Internet bill is increasing. There hasn't been any fare increase released by the regulatory bodies, but persons are taking it upon themselves to add a $50 here or $100 there, and that's Jamaican dollars. And we, the citizens, we have to incur all these increases while working for less pay. How is it that we're going to survive when everything is increasing and our pay is decreasing? And this is what many private sectors are doing. They're using this pandemic as an excuse to stifle the livelihood of the Jamaican people, and this is going to make it impossible for people to come out of this pandemic healthy. There are some persons who are going to try and take a shortcut just to stay alive, just to be able to feed their family. One shortcut is they're going to wash their mask, and when they go into office, no one is going to pay attention that they're washing a reusable mask. Very few persons might pay attention to that, but those are just some of the things that are happening. You leave every day, you leave your family hoping to get home. You may get back home to them, but you may take the virus home to them because you're just trying to make ends meet, and irrespective of trying to make ends meet, you're taking a shortcut, and that shortcut may potentially cost you your life and your loved one's life. So it's a lot. The world is going through it, but in Jamaica, I think we could be doing so much better, minus the few things. If the private sector, I know that some of them are really doing an amazing job. Some of them, are going above and beyond to help their staff, to see to it that everyone still has a job, still getting an income. But there are others who are just using this pandemic as a way to hold their staff at gunpoint, and I can't even find a better word for it or a better terminology. Maybe someone can tell me the correct terminology, but persons in Jamaica are being held at gunpoint, and their salary is being taken away from them by their bosses, and they're still expected to still be productive and still be at work every day, and they're bullied, they're consistently harassed, and they're threatened, and persons are afraid to bring these things forward to the Labour government because they are afraid that they will lose their job that is already not doing anything for them. So my aim is just to let the world know what is happening in Jamaica and get the government involved as much as possible. The government should be monitoring these private sectors to see what they're doing. How is it that they are keeping their staff safe? How is it as regards to pay? What is the salary like? Can someone really survive on this, right? Based on what they're asking versus what they're giving. Is this attainable? Will someone truly be able to pull out of this pandemic alive without any mental health condition and any other kind of health condition? So I just hope that this video helps to, sensitize some of these issues, some of these things that are happening in Jamaica as it stands. And just please give this video a thumbs up so that other persons can be aware of what is going on, and hopefully something can be done at some point. Hopefully this will encourage someone to do the right thing. It may seem simple, but wearing a mask is a big deal. If you can't wear those ones that you wash and rewear every day, that's fine. Try and get the disposable